Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm Cindy. We're going to start today in a comfortable seated position, so cross-legged or lotus, half lotus, full lotus. Placing your hands down on your knees or in your lap. You're going to lengthen up through the spine, so we're really rooting down through our sit bones, lifting up through the top of the head. We're just going to close the eyes and begin finding the breath. So as much as possible, breathing through the nose throughout your whole practice. And just beginning to tune your mind in to focus on the breath and focus on the body. Beginning to lengthen the breath, lengthen the inhalation and the exhalation. So as we inhale, we're completely filling up with air, expanding the lungs. And as we exhale, again completely emptying the lungs, navel pulls into the spine. So again, as we inhale, we're expanding, feel the clavicle lift slightly. And as we exhale, again we empty the lungs, we contract and the navel pulls into the spine. Good. One more time, inhale deep and full. And exhale, navel pulls into the spine. So from here, we're just going to come up onto the knees. Taking the knees about hip distance or the width of your mat, whatever's comfortable for you. Walking your hands forward. Coming to rest down in child's pose, forehead onto the mat. Really stretching out from your shoulders, reaching forward with your hands, at the same time reaching your tailbone back to the heels, and again still pressing the forehead down on the mat. Breathing deeply into your upper back, breathing into your ribs, breathing into the side body. Good, and then we're just going to walk your hands over to the right, keeping the chest low. Again, reaching the chest and the forehead down towards the mat, feeling the stretch all through your side body, all through the left side. Still reaching away with your hands, pulling your shoulders down the back. And then taking your hands all the way back to the center, exhale here. And then moving your hands over to the left again, pressing your chest, forehead again down towards the floor, rooting down through the tailbone, stretching out through the right side of the body. Shoulders pulling down the back. And again, walking the hands back to the center. One more time, exhale into child's pose. And inhale, we're going to come up onto all fours. The cat-cow, hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Knees underneath the hips, relaxing the feet. Shoulders down the back. We're going to inhale, so we release the lower back as we look up. And as we exhale, we round the upper back, tuck your tailbone under, navel in, chin to chest. So again, as we inhale, rolling through the spine, release the low back as you look up. And exhale, rounding, navel in, pressing away from you, through the floor. Good, one more time. Inhale, release the upper back, lower back. As you look up, pull your shoulders back and down. And exhale, rounding, tailbone under, chin tucks, navel in. And coming back to a nice neutral position, so straightening the spine. So keeping your gaze down towards the mat. We're going to begin by inhaling, raising your left hand off the mat, and at the same time, if we can, inhale, raising your right leg off the mat. Holding, 1, 2, and 3. Placing both hand and foot back down. Try it on the other side. Inhale, raise the right hand and the left leg. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Touching back down. Let's try that again. So this time at the same time. Inhale, left hand, right leg. Good. 1, 2, and 3. Again, placing that down. Find your position first. When you're ready, inhale, right hand, left leg. Stretching out through the body, so reaching forward through your right hand and pulling back through your left leg, lengthening. 3. When you're ready, coming back down. Good. Sitting back in child's pose. Lovely. Coming back up onto the hands. Again, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. This time we're going to roll the toes under. So we're tucking the toes under. We're going to press down into the floor, and at the same time we're going to lift the knees off the mat. Really rounding up into the upper back, pressing into your shoulder girdle. Pressing down through the hands, lifting up through the core. 1. Only keeping the knees just a couple of inches off the mat. 2. Keep pressing the floor away from you, lifting up through your core. 3. Breathing deeply through the nose. 4. And 5. Good. Touching back down. One more time. Rest in child's pose. Lovely. Coming back up onto the hands, rolling over the toes. We're going to push back into downward facing dog. So lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, reaching your chest towards your thighs, bringing the head between the arms, chin to your chest, reaching your heels down towards the floor, keeping a slight bend in the knees if you need to, otherwise straight knees, squeeze the thighs, pulling the navel in. Good. One more breath, rolling the shoulders down the back. Spreading the fingers as wide as you can, really rooting down through your knuckles. Okay, we're going to look forward and inhale, coming into a plank pose, pressing the floor away from you. Navel pulling in, and exhale, downward facing dog, pushing the hips back up, chin to the chest, navel in. Again, one more time. Inhale, coming all the way forward, pressing into the shoulders, tucking your tailbone under, navel in. Looking at the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Chin to chest. Looking at the knees or the navel. Lifting the hips, reaching the heels down. Deep breathing through the nose. One more time. Inhale, looking between the hands, rolling into a plank pose, pressing up through the shoulders, lifting up through the core, pressing back through the heels. And again, exhale, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands, we're going to step forward to the front of your mat, bringing your feet together, squeezing your thighs, lifting your chest. We're going to come to a flat back position. So if you need to raise your hands onto your shins or your thighs, lift the chin slightly and try flatten the back. And exhale, we're going to fold forward, navel pulls in. Lifting your sit bones high, relaxing the head and neck. Again, inhale, we're going to come to a flat back position. Shoulders down the back, squeeze the thighs, lift up through the pelvic floor, chin lifts slightly. And again, exhale, bringing your chest and your tummy towards your legs. Relaxing the head and neck, lifting up through the sit bones. One more time. Inhale, flat back, navel in, shoulders down the back, chin lifts, looking down the nose, and exhale as we fold again. So coming back to a flat back position, we're going to step your right foot back. Keeping your right leg nice and strong and straight. Pressing down through your left foot. We're going to inhale, lifting the chest. We're going to take the hands down towards the hips. Pressing through that right foot, right heel, squeezing your left thigh. Really pressing the hands down along the sides of the body as we lift up through the top of the head. Pulling the navel in 3, 4, and 5. Good. Taking your right hand down to the floor. If you need to use a block, you can always place a block underneath your hand. And inhale, lifting your left hand to the ceiling as you look up to your left thumb. Good. Twisting the spine. 1, 2. Trying to keep your right leg as straight as you can. 3. Shoulders down the back, away from the ears. 4. And 5. Good. Placing your hands down. Again, inhale, step to the front of your mat. Flat back, lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Again, inhale, flat back, lengthen. This time stepping your left foot back. Lunging into your right knee. Left leg nice and strong and straight. Inhale, taking your arms to your hips. Lifting up through the top of the head, reaching your chest forward. Navel pulling in. Pressing back through your left heel. Squeezing your right thigh. Shoulders down the back. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Placing your left hand down onto the floor or onto a block. Inhale as you twist the spine, looking up towards your right fingers. 1, 2, shoulders down the back. 3, pressing down through your right foot, back through your left heel. 4, navel drawing in. 5, hands coming down to the mat again. Inhale, flat back, lengthen, navel in. Exhale, fold, chin to shin. Inhale, raising your arms all the way to standing, pressing palms as you look up towards the thumbs. Exhale, Samasthiti, standing nice and straight. Good, so now we just warm up the body with some sun salutations or Surya Namaskara. So again, bringing the feet together, legs strong, arms down the side of the body. Going to inhale, raising your arms, pressing palms together, looking up. Exhale, folding forward from your hip joints, looking towards the knees. Inhale, flat back, lift the chin, look down the nose. Exhale, we can step or hop back to Chaturanga, press up position, elbows close to the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra if you need to rest on the thighs, looking up. Exhale, coming back to downward facing dog. Good. Breathing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to look forward. Again, we can step or hop, coming to the front of your mat. Flat back as you inhale. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, raising the arms, pressing down through the feet, lifting up as we look up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good, so we'll try again. Inhale, raising the arms, looking up. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, flat back. Exhale again, stepping or hopping back, plank, chaturanga, elbows close to the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog, looking towards the knees or the navel. 1, 2, hands about shoulder distance, feet about hip distance. 3, 4, and 5. Looking forward, again we can step or hop. Coming back to a flat back position, navel in. Exhale as we fold. Inhale, raising the arms, pressing palms as we look up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good, one more time. Inhale, raising the arms, looking up. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, flat back, navel in. Exhale, again, stepping or hopping back, using the knees if you need to, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra pose or upward facing dog, looking up. Or exhale, downward facing dog. Good, 1, 2, deep breathing through the nose. 3, 4, rooting down through the heels. And 5, looking forward. Again, we can step or hop. Coming back to a flat back position, navel in. Exhale as we fold. Inhale, raising the arms, pressing the palms together as we look up. And exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Lovely. Surya Namaskara B. We inhale, bending the knees, squeezing the knees together, sitting low, we look up, pressing palms. Exhale, forward fold, straight legs. Inhale, flat back, lift the chest. Exhale, again, stepping or hopping, plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra pose or upward facing dog, looking up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Turning your left heel down, right foot forward. Squaring off the hips, we inhale, warrior 1. Looking up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Stepping back into your plank. Again, resting on the knees if you need to. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up, pressing into the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel coming down on the mat, left foot coming forward. Inhale, raising your arms, looking up, pressing palms. Exhale, hands back to the mat, bringing the feet, knees together if you need to, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, finding your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looking forward, stepping or hopping. Flat back as we inhale. Exhale as we fold. Inhale, sinking deeply, bending the knees, raising the arms. Inhale, exhale, Samasthiti. Lovely. Great. So we're going to return to Utkatasana. So inhale, bending the knees, squeezing the knees together, raising the arms. Looking up to the thumbs. Finding this position first. We're going to take a deep inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands to the heart, twisting the spine to bring the right elbow onto the outer edge of your left knee. Again, sinking down at the hips, rolling the shoulders down the back. We're going to look up towards the ceiling, twisting the spine. Good. 2. Try and keep your knees level. 3. Belly drawn in. 4. and 5. Inhale again. Standing tall, looking up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Looking up through to the hands. Deep inhale here. Exhale, hands to the heart, twisting to the right this time. Left elbow onto the outside of your right knee, hands to heart. Twisting the spine, looking up. Good. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale, standing up nice and tall. And exhale, Samasthiti. Finding the breath. So from here we're going to inhale, raising the arms, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping or hopping back to Chaturanga. Using the knees if you need to, elbows in the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose, lifting the chin and chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Going to bring your right foot through, pressing down on your left heel. We're going to inhale, warrior 1. Palms can be pressing together or just parallel. Drop the shoulders down the back. Navel pulling in, looking up slightly. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale as we turn your pelvis to the side, opening up through the left hip, still lunging into your right leg. Warrior 2. Reaching out through the arms, pressing down through the feet, lifting up through the pelvic floor, looking over at your right fingers. 3, 4, and 5. Good. From here, we're going to go ahead, placing your forearm, your right forearm down on your right thigh. Inhale. As you lift your left arm up towards your left ear, looking up towards your fingertips if you can. 2, 3, Parsva Konasana. 4, reaching all the way from the tips of the fingers down to the heel. 4, and 5. Taking your hands to the mat. Stepping back into plank, using the knees if you need to. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time bringing your left foot forward, right heel pressing down. Inhale, squaring off your hips to the front of your mat, raising your arms. Looking up, dropping shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale as we open up to warrior 2. Still lunging into our left knee. Pressing back through our right heel. Dropping the shoulders. Palms facing downward. Looking at our left fingers. 3, 4, feeling that right hip opening as it pulls back. And 5. Going to inhale here, placing your left forearm on the thigh. Exhale. Inhale as you reach the right hand up towards the ear, looking up towards the right fingers. 2, Parsva Konasana. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Hands to the floor. Stepping back into plank. Resting on the knees if you need to.
Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, tops of the feet, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, finding your breath again. So deep breathing through the nose, extending through the spine, lifting the hips. Breathing in downward facing dog. And again, looking between the hands, we're going to bring your right foot forward. The left heel pressing down on the mat. We're going to inhale back to warrior one. Finding the posture first, looking up. Breathing. Good. Exhale. Warrior two. Opening the arms and the hips, the length of your mat. Navel pulls in, tailbone tucks under. 3, 4, and 5. Good. We're going to inhale, straightening your right leg. Exhale as you reach forward out of the hips, coming into triangle pose. So reaching towards your ankle or your shin, taking your big toe if you can reach. Looking up towards your left fingertips. 2, 3, and then reaching your left hand down to the floor. Turning up your left heel, pressing back through the left heel, keeping your right knee bent. We inhale to crescent lunge. Lifting the torso, strong legs as you look up towards the ceiling. Good. 1. Dropping the shoulders down the back. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Good. We're going to take your left hand down to the floor. Again, twisting the spine. Inhale. Raising that right hand up to the ceiling, rolling the shoulders down the back, finding the breath. 2, pressing back through the left heel. 3, 4, and 5. So from here we're going to move into a side plank. So we're going to drop the left heel towards the floor, and if we can, we're going to bring the feet together, lifting up through the hands. If you need to rest down on that left knee, feel free to. Otherwise, keeping both legs together, looking up towards the right fingers. 3, 4, and 5. Coming down to plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Finding the breath. 1. Breathing deeply through the nose. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Looking forward again. Left foot coming forward. Right heel pressing down. Inhale, warrior 1. Raising the arms, looking up. Dropping the shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening up to warrior 2. Dropping the shoulders, extending through the arms, navel pulling in. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale as we straighten your left leg. Exhale as you reach forward out of the hips into triangle pose, raising the right hand to the ceiling, looking up if we can. 2, 3, taking hold of the big toe if you can reach. 4, and 5. Inhale. Exhale as you bring your hands to the floor. Bending nice and deeply into that left knee. Inhale. Crescent lunge. Good. Dropping the shoulders. Lifting up through the chest. Breathing deeply. squeezing the thighs, lifting up through the pelvic floor. One more breath. And exhale, we're going to take your right hand down to place it by your left foot, coming up onto your right toes, twisting the spine, looking up towards the left fingers. Again, crescent lunge. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pressing firmly down through your right hand, dropping your right heel to the floor if we can, bringing the feet together in a side plank, lifting up through the chest, through the hips, looking up if we can. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands coming back down on the mat, plank pose. Using the knees if you need to, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, finding the breath. Again, looking between the hands. We're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right heel and the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Sinking the hips down as deeply as we can. Bringing your elbows onto the insides of your knees. Hands come into heart center, malasana. Pulling in through the navel, strong core. Feeling heavy through the hips, so sinking the hips downward towards the floor, but at the same time, try not to completely collapse and round. Use the core and the navel to lift up through the top of the head. Good. Gently putting a little bit of pressure on the insides of the thighs, insides of the knees, keeping the knees tracking outwards. Breathing deeply through the nose. Lovely. One more breath. Lovely. Placing the hands down onto the floor. Spreading your fingers as wide as you can, taking your hands about shoulder width apart. We're going to come lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So we're going to go into crow pose or bakasana, but we don't have to worry about taking the feet off the floor. We're just going to get used to the weight in the hands. So taking the knees up into the inner armpits or to the outer edges of the upper arms. Pulling in through the core. We're going to take your weight forward onto your hands, reaching your head forward, lengthening your spine. And if that's comfortable, we can maybe take one foot off at a time, placing that back down, maybe lifting up the opposite leg, squeezing your foot up towards the groin. Breathing, good, placing that down. One more breath. Dropping shoulders down the back, pressing into the hands. Lifting up through the hips, and then from here we can step or hop back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up, and exhale, downward facing dog. Looking forward, we're going to bring the right foot forward. Bringing the feet a little bit closer together, pressing down through the left heel. We're going to inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Both legs straight, both feet facing towards the front of your mat. Slightly turning out the left foot, so the heel of your right foot is lined up with the heel of your back foot, squaring off your hips to the front of the mat. We're either going to take our elbows or we can bring the hands up the back. Coming into a reverse prayer position, pressing the palms together, squeezing your elbows back. Going to inhale, lifting up through the spine, navel in. Exhale as we fold forward, pressing down through the feet, squaring off the hips, navel pulling in. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale as we just lift up slightly. We're going to stretch the arms out behind us, binding the hands, rolling the shoulders down the back. We're going to gently take the arms up and over the head, navel pulls in, relax the shoulders, keeping the spine long. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Exhale, lowering the hands all the way to the floor. Finding your position and your balance again. It's pressing down through the feet, lifting up through the top of the head, so we're straightening the spine, squaring off the hips. We're going to place your left hand down on your left shin, really firmly pressing down through your left foot. We're going to inhale, coming into a reverse, revolved triangle, twisting the spine, looking up towards the right fingertips. Good. Breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, bringing that right hand down, bringing your hands to your heart center, lifting up through the chest, squeezing your right thigh, coming into a balancing warrior. We're going to inhale, taking all the weight onto your right foot, lunging, reaching the chest forward. When you're ready, bringing the feet together, forward folding. Lovely. Inhale, standing up nice and tall, looking up. Exhale, Samastiti. So continuing with balancing, stepping your left foot down into the floor. You're going to inhale, taking hold of your right knee with your right hand, left hand on hip. If that's comfortable for you, we can always take hold of your toes with the arm on the inside of the knee, or we can even extend the leg. So just doing what we can. 1, lifting up through the top of the head. 2, dropping the shoulders. 3, firmly pressing down through the left foot. 4, and 5. Lovely. Really rooting down through the left foot, taking your left hand onto your right knee, squaring off your hips. We're going to see if we can try twist the spine, navel in, reaching the right hand back behind you. See if we can look back as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale as we come back to center. Hands are going to go on the hips, extending the leg out in front. Good. Pointing the toes. 1, squeezing the thighs. 2, 3, breathing. 4, and 5. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Again, exhale as we take ourselves back into a balancing warrior. Tipping forward with the chest. 2, 3, 4, bending the left knee to gently place your right foot back behind you, straightening both legs, lifting the chest. Good. Parsvottanasana on the opposite side, so taking the hands back behind. So again, either taking your elbows or reverse prayer, hands up the back. Again, just doing what's comfortable for you. Inhale as we lift up through the chest, through the top of the head. Exhale as we fold forward, keeping both legs as straight as we can, not locking the left knee, but just a micro bend. Navel pulling in, dropping your shoulders down the back. Squeezing your elbows together, squeezing your shoulder blades together. 2, looking down towards your big toe. 3, 4, and 5. So from here, inhale, maybe lift up just slightly to be able to bind the hands behind your back, straighten your elbows as we exhale and take the arms up and over the head. 2, pressing down through the feet. 3, rolling the shoulders down the back. 4, and 5. Lovely. Keeping the legs straight. We're going to exhale, gently bringing your hands down to the floor. Inhale as we lift up to a nice flat back position, squaring off your hips and your shoulders. Right hand's going to rest on your right shin this time. And when you're ready, inhale, raising your left hand up towards the ceiling, twisting the spine, revolve triangle, looking up. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Bringing the hands to the heart center. We're going to inhale, stepping forward into our balancing warrior, lifting up, lifting through the top of the head, finding your breath, bending your knees, bringing your feet together, forward folding. Lovely. Inhale, raising the arms, looking up. Exhale, Samastiti. Lovely, balancing this time on the left. So pressing down through your right foot, right hand onto hip, and inhale. We're going to bring your left hand to the knee, or the left hand on the inside of the knee to take the toe, or we can go ahead and extend the leg. Again, just doing what's comfortable for you, what we can manage. Lifting up through the top of the head, 2. Strong standing leg, 3. Pulling in on the navel, 4. And 5. Swapping the hands over, so taking your right hand to your left knee, twisting in the spine, and extending your left hand back behind you, and see if we can look back over that shoulder. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Coming back to center. Hands on the hips. Inhale as we straighten left leg. 1. As much as we can, pointing the toes, squeezing the thighs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come into the heart center. Take that left leg back behind you as we tip forward again into our balancing warrior. 1 more breath. Exhale as we step all the way back. Warrior 1. Hands to the mat. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Finding the breath again. Good. Breathing through the nose. Looking between the hands, or we can just step or hop to come all the way through to seated. Extending your legs out in front of you. So starting in Dandasana. Hands on either sides of the hips. Lifting up through the top of the head. Squeezing the thighs, pressing out through the balls of the feet. 1, 2. Tucking the chin towards the chest, looking down the nose. 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and relax. Moving into Navasana. Going to bring the feet up towards the bum. Extending the arms out in front. We're going to inhale, taking the shins either parallel to the floor, or we can try extending the legs straight. Again, just doing what we can, making sure the spine stays straight, and we're lifting up through the chest. 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, we're going to take a nice deep inhale and exhale. See if we can go all the way down to canoe. So straightening your body, hovering slightly off the mat. Inhale, back up to boat. Placing the feet down, resting the head between the knees. Again, breathing. Okay, let's try that again. Lifting the chest, arms parallel. Inhale, taking the feet off the floor, squeezing the knees together, lifting the chest, looking towards the toes. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale first. Exhale, stretch out the body. Hover. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Exhale, bend in the knees, relax the abdomen. Let the head hang between the knees. Good, one more time. Inhale, back into your boat pose, Navasana. 1. Squeeze the knees together, roll the thighs inward. Lift up through the pelvic floor. 3, 4, lifting up through the chest. 5, deep inhale. Exhale, use the core, stretch out the body. Inhale, come in all the way up. Exhale, bend in the knees. Relax the head forward between the knees. Breathe in again nice and deeply. Taking your hands about 6 inches or so behind you, fingers pointing towards the body or towards the front of the mat. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Draw your shoulders together behind you. Feet should be hip distance apart or slightly wider maybe. Bending the knees. So going into a tabletop position, we're going to inhale, lifting up through the hips, squeezing the thighs, and exhale as you release your head back behind you. Good. 1, pressing down through the knuckle of the index finger, protecting your wrists. 2, pulling in through the navel. 3, squeezing the thighs. 4, and 5. Exhale as we come back down. Get rounding the back, drop the head between the knees, and relax the shoulders. Coming to lay onto the back of the body. When you're ready, a little bit more on the core, we're going to inhale, raising your legs up towards the ceiling. Slightly tucking your chin towards your chest, so you're lengthening through the spine along the back of the neck. Keeping your legs extended up towards the ceiling. You can point your toes to keep your legs nice and active. Going to bring your hands together, palms pressing together, raising the arms up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to inhale. We're going to crunch through the core. We're going to lift the hands, reaching towards the outer ankle on the right side. Good. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relaxing. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. Again, inhale. We're going to reach up to the left ankle. Reaching with the arms, squeezing into the core. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Taking your arms back behind you, stretching them along the floor. Relax your shoulders. So we're now going to do a similar thing, but this time we're going to lift the hips. So keeping the legs extended up towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale, lifting the hips off the floor, and exhale as we place them down. So using your control, try not to just lift up and flop back down. Inhale, lift the hips, squeeze the core. Exhale, hips go back down. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale, lower them back down. Good. Bend the knees, hug the knees into the chest. Right? Give your back a bit of a massage, relax the core. Taking your arms 90 degrees from the body. Going to inhale here. And exhale, taking your knees over to the left. Just allowing them to fall over to the left. Keeping your right shoulder down on the mat. And maybe looking over towards the right. Relaxing into the twist. When you're ready, inhale to bring the head back into the center, as well as the knees coming back into the center. And exhale, you can allow them to move straight over to the right. Dropping the knees down, stacking the hips, keeping your left shoulder on the floor. See if we can maybe turn the head over towards the left. Just breathing into the twist. Inhale, bring the center, head back into the center, lifting the knees back up, taking the feet down towards the floor, up close towards the buttocks, keeping your feet just a bit wider than your hips. Making sure your lower back is pressed nice and firmly down onto the floor, pressing the hands down onto the outer edges of your mat. Lengthening again through the neck, so pressing the chin towards the chest. Going up into a simple bridge pose, we're going to inhale, pressing down through the feet, tilting the tailbone under. We're going to begin to lift the hips off the mat. As we inhale, taking the weight up onto the shoulders, pressing down through the feet, looking down towards the nose or the belly. Good, 1. Pressing down through the arms, palms of the hands onto the floor. 2. 3. 4. Good, and 5. As you exhale, lowering yourself back down onto the mat. Again, hugging the knees into the chest, maybe rocking side to side, back and forth, extending your arms so you massage your lower back, squeezing the knees in close to go further up the back. Just whatever feels right for you. And then we're going to go into Shavasana. Taking your feet a bit wider than the width of your mat and just allowing everything to rotate outwards. So let the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips, everything fall out to the sides. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Tuck your shoulders underneath you, your shoulder blades. Relax your shoulders. Lengthen through the back of the neck again so chin touches down. Reaches down towards the chest. Navel relaxes. Close your eyes. Relax your breath. Just allow it to be natural and controlled. Still just breathing through the nose as much as we can. And just scanning your body for anywhere you might be holding any tension. And upon finding any tension in the body, use the exhalation just to release that tension out of the body. Use the exhalation just to let go of anything we might be holding, or tensing, or feeling, both physically in the body and in the mind. Just use the exhalation to release yourself from any tension. Allow or feel yourself sinking deeper into the mat as you relax further and further, deeper and deeper. The body beginning to feel heavy and relaxed. Even the muscles in the face, the cheeks, the eyebrows, the eyelids, the lips. Take your awareness there and just allow everything in the face to relax. Whole body feeling heavy and relaxed on the mat.